So I've gone ahead to measure 1 inch down as the starting line. That's the waistline. Then the waist to hip measurement, I have 8.5 here as the waist to hip measurement for this particular measurement I'm working with. Then the crotch line, this is the crotch line. I have crotch line of 11.5. And then the waist to knee length, I've also marked the waist to knee length and the trouser full length plus the folding allowance. Okay, 2 inches folding allowance. I also went ahead to mark 1 inch out here. Okay, 1 inch, then another 1 inch, total of 2 inches out here. That will be my line. So let's start. So you divide the waist measurement by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. Okay, that's the dart and the sewing allowance. I will divide the hip measurement by 4 plus 1 inch. 1 inch means that I have half inch for the side here and half inch for the joining here. If you want extra allowance, you can go ahead and add extra, okay, by this side. But first of all, add 1 inch first to your measurement. Don't add more. I'll come to this waistline and impute the hip measurement. So I'm working with hip measurement of 39 divided by 4 plus 1. Okay, that is 10.75. I'll come to this waistline from this first line that I've marked and impute 10.75 like so. So I'll also come to the hip line and do the same, mark 10.75. okay, so I'll also come to the crotch line and mark the hip measurement as well like so. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points from the waistline to the hip line down to the crotch line. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the thigh measurement. To get the thigh measurement, under the crotch line is where I will mark the thigh measurement, because if you can remember, that is exactly where we measured the thigh, under the crotch. So I have thigh measurement of 25. I'm going to add 2 inches to it divided by 2. This is a standard formula. So I will have 13.5. So I'm marking 13.5 from that first line. Okay, so you go ahead and mark 13.5 here. The next thing we are going to do is to create the crotch curve. And to create the crotch curve, come to your ruler and find the angle 90 by placing it like this on your pattern, because this is an angle of 90. So you just indicate the middle of angle 90 and then draw a straight line like so. Can you see? We'll come on that line and mark 0.5, okay, to create the depth of the crotch. You can use 0.75 here for people that don't want the crotch curve to be so deep. You can use 0.5 here, but it shouldn't be more than 0.75. It should be between 0.5 and 0.75. So I prefer taking 0.5 because I always like my crotch curve to be very deep. So you go ahead and create a curve like so. So create that curve. The next thing we are going to do is to mark the midpoint of our thigh line. Then you measure the thigh line like so and divide your tape by 2 to get the midpoint of the thigh. Okay, so what I have here is 6.75. I'm going to be taking it down 6.75 like so. So that will be the thigh line. So you come to the knee, and impute the knee measurement. And here I have knee measurement of 18 inches. So you're going to divide 18 by 2 and impute it here. So when I divide 18 by 2, I have 9. So I'm going to be marking 4.5 on each side to have 9. So you mark 9, 4.5, and then you connect the points like so. It's very important that you learn how to place a French curve. So watch as I am placing mine. Okay, so you also connect from this point to this point like so. Right, so the next thing we are going to do is to come to the trouser length and mark the ankle measurement. And for this, the ankle measurement is 14. You divide by 2 to have, I have 7. So I'm going to be placing 7 by dividing 7 on both sides. I have 3.5. So I have marked the 7 on the full length. So the next thing to do is to connect the points with a long ruler from this point then to the full length like so. Then you also do the same thing on this side. Carefully connect the points. Remember, you need to leave all points blended so that it doesn't point out. Okay, so this is the front part. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark the back. Okay, I'm going to be drafting front and back pants together. So I'll go ahead and add the back allowance. I'm adding 3.5 for the back. You can add more if you want, but I'm going to be using 3.5. I'm adding 3.5 to the back. So this one is going to be the front and this is going to be the back. So connect the point. I'll also go ahead and mark the back cross curve because the front cross curve is going to be deep while the back is not going to be that deep. So I'm taking 1.5 as the depth of the back cross curve. Then I'll come here and take out 0.5 or 0.75 if you're adding zipper at the back so that the zipper can lay flat at the back. Okay, so if you are taking 0.75 for your zipper to lay flat, take 0.75. if you're taking 1 inch for your zipper to lay flat at the back, you are going to be taking 1 inch out. So we are going to go ahead and impute the waist dart. So from here, you're going to measure out ½ inch, that will be the joining allowance, and then you use the nipple to nipple measurement, and mine is 3.75. Okay, I'll just take out half and mark 3.75. I'll also go to the hip line and do the same. I'll take out half for the joining and I'll mark the dart line, which is the nipple to nipple measurement, and I'll draw the dart line. Okay, so after I have successfully drawn the dart line, I'm going to come up on the hip line by 1 and then create my dart, the dart intake. I'm going to be taking 0.5 on each side of the dart line, because if you can remember, I added 2 inches to the waist measurement. That is 1 inch was for the dart and 1 inch was for the seam allowance. So you connect that 1 inch that you have marked out to create the dart, because this is a high-waisted pant, so you are connecting to the 1 inch above the hip line. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the waist measurement, and I have waist measurement of 28 divided by 4 will give me 7. So I'm going to be marking 7, okay, from this line. Then I will replace this dart that I've taken out. Then I will add the joining allowance, 1/2 inch for joining here and 1/2 inch for the side. Okay, so if you want to add extra allowance, this is the time to add extra allowance by this side of your pants. You can go ahead and add, if it is 2 that you want to add, you can go ahead and add 2 inches. But I don't like having so much allowances on my pants, so I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch. That is 1/2 inch for the side and 1/2 inch here. Okay, then you connect to the hip line like so, like this. So this is the basic pant. You can also come to the back here and add extra 1/2 inch so that the back will not be sagging at the back. Okay, and connect it to the waistline like so. The basic pant block pattern. If you want to add band to your pants, what you do is just go ahead and mark the band. Go ahead and minus the band now. After drafting, you go ahead and minus the band. If it is 1.5 that you want to minus, you go ahead and minus the band. If it is 2 inches that you want to minus, you go ahead and minus it. Remember that you're going to add 1/2 inch on at the top here. If you're making use of, if you're adding it to a band, you need to add 1/2 inch here that you use and join your pants to the band. If it is jumpsuit that you're making, you also need to add extra 1/2 inch here that you will use to join the pants to the bodies. Okay, so we are going to be closing the darts. So cut the darts open like so and close it. But if you want, you can sew the darts down, but I like eliminating my darts, so you go ahead and close up the darts to eliminate it. It will still give you a good fit. Okay, so I'll tape it down to eliminate the darts. I don't like having darts on my pants, so I prefer dartless pants. So you cut. If you're adding band, you can now go ahead and redraw your line, your band line. That is the band. For the band, remove the band measurements. Okay, you redraw the line like so. Okay, then you cut. Then you cut by the side on that first line. Okay, this is the back pattern. After cutting the back, I'm going to trim off the 3.5 that I have added to the back. I'm going to trim it off like so to cut the front. So remember that the front is straight. It was the back that we added 1/2 inch. So I'm also going to fold here, but remember we removed 0.75 here so that the zipper will not bulge out. Okay, so this is the back pattern. After cutting the back pattern, you bring this place back and fold the top. Okay, that ½ inch that we added, so that the back will not be sagging. You fold it in and cut the front from here. Okay, then down to here. That is the front block. So this is the difference between the back block and the front block. This is the front block, and the back has 1.5 here and 3.5 here. Okay, so the next thing you are going to do is to place your pattern on your fabric and start cutting on your fabric. But before you trim out this place, make sure that you have cut the back pattern on your fabric before you take it out to cut the front. Okay, so that's it.